My name is Aaron, I'm with Saddle Point Systems, and I'm here to show you how to print your own image strips in large quantities. Get right to it. I've got my artwork already open in a PDF using Adobe Reader, and the way that this PDF is set up is that the canvas size is exactly the same as this sheet size, and I've got image strips that are laid out and oriented exactly in the same fashion as these image strips. And there's a bit of bleed that bleeds over these edges so that you don't miss any of the white space on the strip. And I'll just go ahead and go to File, Print. Check my properties, make sure I have the right printer selected. I have presets already loaded, and basically what these presets are telling this printer is that I want it to feed from the rear feed tray to prevent any double feeds. I've got my document size set, I've got my paper type set, and I have high speed selected, which is a really awesome feature which basically cuts the print time in half without any noticeable degradation in quality. And it also is going to save you, in addition to time, money on ink costs, because you're not laying down as much ink, but you're still getting the same high quality result. So we'll keep that selected, press OK, and I'm going to put in how many copies I want printed. So you could put in any number. If you're doing a whole box of strips, you'll put in 50. Right now I'll just do 10 for demonstration's sake. And the way that this works without having to run back and forth to the computer to re-engage the print dialog is you set your total number, and then you put your sheets in stacks of 5. So what I like to do, tends to work out really well, no double feeds. And right now I've got 2 stacks of 5. So I'll take my first stack, make sure it's jogged properly. And it's important when you're feeding it that you want to feed it with the short edge first, as opposed to this long edge up here, because that will create problems for you when you're printing. So go ahead and load it in, and I'll set a timer just so you can see exactly how fast these print and get a sense of the production that you can do with one printer. So I'll go ahead and print, start the timer. While that's printing, I'll talk a little bit about the printer itself, which we really like. We recommend this to anyone that wants to print their own image strips. This model in particular, it's the Epson WorkForce Pro WF-4630. It is compact, it's reliable, and it's fairly inexpensive for its class of printer. It's about $250 to $300, depending on where you buy it. But the thing that we like most about this printer are these cartridges that it uses. Most inkjet printers use fairly small cartridges. These are high capacity. They're about 2 to 3 times more ink in one of these than in your typical inkjet printer. And in addition to them having a lot of ink in them, there are only 4 colors, whereas a lot of printers these days you'll see 8 or 9 or 10 or maybe even 12 different colors, which means you have to use a lot more ink and you have to spend a lot more money just to even get up and running. But this, it takes 4, and it has beautiful print quality. The colors combine perfectly for any combination you want. So we really like it, and it just is a great printer if you want to save money without losing any quality. The types of books that these image strips do, there's 2 basic types that we like to show our customers. The strips that we're doing right now are for an even wrap book, which is typically for thicker documents. This is about 3/4 of an inch, and it's called even wrap because the strip is actually perfectly even around the spine, which allows you to put text right on the spine, as well as pictures and whatever else you want. But that's a nifty feature if you have a bookcase and you want to see the text of the book. The second type of book is what is called a maximum front wrap. And what that means is the strip, instead of wrapping evenly, it's going to wrap as far forward to the front of the book as it can, so that you get the maximum surface area on the front of your document. So if you really want to make a splash with whoever's going to see it first thing, that's what you would want to wrap it with. And it's usually used on thinner documents. This is about a little less than 1/4 of an inch. You can put images, you can put a logo, you can put designs, and typically on the back edge we like to put contact information as well as a QR code if you want to integrate your web presence with the document itself. So they're both really nifty documents depending on how thick your book is. And the other thing that is worth mentioning, I'll let these guys not shove each other out of the way, about this ink in particular, it's Dura-Bright Ultra ink, which is great for using it with document binders, especially the Fastback Model 20. Before I go into that point, it's telling me I need more paper, so let me go ahead and show you how easy it is to load. Put it in, press the button, and it's on its way. So that took about 3 minutes to print 5 sheets, and so 15 strips in 3 minutes. And it's worth remembering that this is full coverage. If you're printing just text and you're going to have a white background, it will be dramatically faster just because there's a lot less ink to lay down. And it's also going to be cheaper because there's a lot less ink to lay down. So that's going to go ahead and run the rest of that job. And what I just want to show you is that these are ready to bind right out of the printer. And I've got my document set up over here that's ready. I'm just going to take it in here. And what I was mentioning earlier about the ink itself is that this document binder uses a heat process. So this heater in here is actually 400 degrees, which, as you imagine, could create some scorching. But this ink is incredibly resilient, and you will not get any discoloration using it. Most inkjet inks are that way, but we especially like the Epson ink. It's just got a special thing to it. So basically, you rip it off, make sure that it's oriented correctly. So my front of my book is over here. I'm going to go ahead and just insert it. Let it bind. So you could actually be binding your books while your job is still printing, so you don't have to wait and then bind all at once. You could be doing both things at once, which is really nice because it allows you to multitask without having to be dedicated to one workspace. So this is almost done. So it took 5 minutes to print. No, excuse me, it's on the last strip. I'll wait until it's finished to give you a final time. Meanwhile, my book is done. Beautiful. I'm going to set it in the cooling rack so that it gains its maximum strength. Put these sheets down. And it's almost ready to go. So we're looking at about 6 minutes. I'm not going to load any more sheets, but that is the Epson printer, that is the image strip, and we do design and print strips for people if you don't want to go through this process. But if you do have any questions, we would be happy to answer them. And we also sell the machine as well as the blank strips themselves, and we can help you out with any of the details in the process. So give us a call or go on our website, send us an email. We're happy to help. Hopefully we're friendly as well. So thank you and have a good day.